Today's
My
news.
doctor believes that I'm fit to be serving.
A candidate's health and the state of democracy.
Washington keeps getting it wrong with extreme positions.
Flexing military might.
An overwhelming display of firepower.
Jury deliberates. Wisconsin parade.
You'll decide yourself to make the right decision.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. Pennsylvania's Senate race is a close one, going down to the wire, and the result could determine which party holds power in the U.S. Senate. As we hear from CBS's Robert Costa, the campaign's only debate last night on News Nation zeroed in on Democrat John Fetterman's personal health and the Republican Mehmet Oz's stand on abortion.
I had a stroke. He's never let me forget that.
Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman started off assuring voters he's still capable of doing the job of senator 5 months after having a stroke.
I might miss some words during this debate, mush 2 words together, but it knocked me down, but I'm going to keep coming back up.
The two clashed on abortion. I don't want the federal government involved with that at all.
Roe v. Wade, for me, should be the law.
The abortion decision should be left up to states, and specifically when John Fetterman...
You roll with Doug Mastriano.
You'll have your turn, John. Fetterman's use of a closed captioning device during the debate, where he read questions in real time on a screen above the moderators, sparked debate on social media, with some observers seeing a strong performance amid recovery, while others cast him as unsteady.
I do support fracking, and I support fracking, and I do support fracking.
There was a first and only debate last night in New York's battle for governor.
As the race has tightened, Governor Kathy Hochul has pivoted, countering Lee Zeldin's barrage of attacks on crime.
First of all, you can either work on keeping people scared, or you can focus on keeping them safe.
At the Spectrum News New York One debate, Hochul touted new gun control and subway safety measures, but Zeldin said it's not enough.
There are criminals out there who need to pay the consequences for their action instead of the catch-release policies that Kathy Hochul champions.
It is a joke to talk about a crime policy that doesn't include doing something about illegal guns.
Steve Burns for CBS News, New York.
Overseas now, the Kremlin said today it will continue to make the case that Ukraine plans to detonate a dirty bomb with radioactive contaminants and blame Russia. A spokesman says China and India have been contacted about it by Moscow. Ukraine, the U.S., and its allies have rejected the assertion. CBS's Chris Livesay is aboard a U.S. Navy warship with a first-hand look at the U.S. and other NATO countries conducting an elaborate show of force in the Mediterranean.
We fly at dawn from the southern coast of Italy to join the USS George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier, a floating mountain of muscle flexing with more than 80 Allied aircraft in international waters for NATO training. Set against the backdrop of Vladimir Putin's repeated threats to fire nuclear weapons. The Secretary General of NATO has come aboard with a warning.
There will be severe consequences, and we are vigilant and ready to react if something bad happens.
For now, NATO says its best weapon is overwhelming deterrence, with a heart-thumping display of firepower, with tensions in the region at a fever pitch.
An earthquake shook the San Francisco Bay Area yesterday. Seismologists say it was the strongest in that part of the country in 8 years.
I got up and looked around, and I felt the house shaking. I said, okay, this is a major earthquake, but I don't know how major.
It was a magnitude 5.1, centered 12 miles east of San Jose. Aside from commuter train delays, there are no reports of major damage or injuries. 2 athletes, Aaron Donald of the NFL's LA Rams and Jaylen Brown of the NBA's Boston Celtics, have ended their associations with Donda Sports, the brand management agency owned by Kanye West. Adidas broke from him yesterday over his anti-Semitic remarks. 4 minutes after the hour. Presented by...
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.